Let's show you what things look like yesterday and what they look like today. Yesterday, there were dramatic street fights. Today, there is a tense calm with students staying home. I just wanted to give you a contrast of those images to give you a sense of what it was like yesterday in Udupi and what it is like today. Yesterday, there were protests. There were dramatic images of protests. And today is a deathly calm, a ghostly calm across all of those campuses. Just wanted to contrast that because yesterday there were injuries, there was stone pelting, there was a lathi charge that took place, and you can see for yourself today there is practically not a soul on the streets. Joining me live from Udupi this evening is Nabila Jamal, who's our reporter on the ground, who's been getting us all the voices. Nolan Pinto is live with me from Bengaluru. He's been reporting on the Karnataka High Court's verdict. He's going to be in Udupi a short while from now. And we also, in a moment, will be joined by Afreen and Aisha, who are two students who have been protesting for the right to wear their hijab to class. For now, the Karnataka High Court has not granted them any interim relief. Let me go across to Nabila first. Nabila, we just looked at those pictures of between yesterday and today. Deathly calm in many of those places, which in a sense is a bit of a relief, but it's also very unnerving because everyone's wondering what's going to happen next.
Sure enough, Shiv, this is an eerie silence because we're seeing college and schools being shut, which is unprecedented. This is for the first time that this has happened, that a state government has issued a closure to schools and colleges because students have been fighting amongst themselves on wearing a religious symbol inside educational institutions. The hijab ban has really escalated pan-India, and it appears that the court has now taken this matter so seriously that even the judge did not want to give out a verdict so soon because of the dynamics of the issue, has issued it to a larger bench. Both the judge in fact the advocate for the petitioner and for the government, both were on the same page asking for an early hearing, but it appears that the court has decided that they're going to take this slow, they're going to deliberate on the dynamics of it and only then give an order. Until then, in Udupi, where I am, it seems like situation is calm. I have with two of the petitioners, the girls who really started off this entire issue with snowballed. They're going to be joining us in just a moment from now. Shiv, we're waiting for them.
The court has referred this entire issue to a larger bench. I'm just going to come to you in a moment. Let me just update our viewers on what the court actually said today, because the students would have been hoping for some clarity, but that has been elusive. And until that clarity comes, no interim relief for the students wearing their hijabs. The showdown in the Karnataka High Court over the hijab ban is still not over. The High Court, which was hearing the matter since yesterday, has now referred the case to a larger bench. The Chief Justice will now appoint a fresh bench to hear the issue. There were heated arguments in court today. The petitioner's lawyer in court has argued that the students should be allowed to return to classes as there are only 2 months remaining for this academic session to end, and the girls should not be deprived of their classes before their exams. Meanwhile, the Karnataka government has argued that it first needs to be determined if hijab is essential to Islam, which is why the court yesterday also asked for a copy of the Quran. The state government has said that a decision must be taken on the basis of law and not emotions. The Karnataka government has also said in court that each institution has autonomy on dress code, asserting that students in hijab need not to be allowed to attend college. The delay in verdict means the girls in hijab still cannot enter their campuses. The Karnataka Chief Justice will now constitute a bigger bench, and colleges in Udupi will remain shut for the next 2 days. Nolan, by when will the next hearing happen? The process of referring this to a larger bench, how long is all of this going to take? Because time is ticking for these youngsters. They've got 2 months of classes left before their exams.
Well, Shiv, April 16th, this is what the information we have received from the pre-university department. April 16th is when their exams start. Mathematics is their first subject on the 16th of April. Now, it's also important to note what Justice Dixit had actually stated. He says, all these matters do give rise to certain constitutional questions of seminal importance in the light of some aspect of personal law. But keeping in mind that initially when the hearing began today, both the Advocate General as well as the petitioners, the advocates for the petitioners, were not acceptable, did not want a larger bench to look into this. They said that they believe that the single judge will be able to actually provide them with whatever they were looking at. So considering all this, Justice Dixit has actually said, in the above circumstances, I'm quoting him exactly, in the above circumstances, registry is directed to place the papers before Chief Justice for consideration immediately, considering the urgency pleaded in the petitions. So one can expect this to happen anytime soon, because interim relief is what they were asking. He says that the interim relief will be given by the Chief Justice after the constitution of a larger bench. So it should happen very, very soon, because keeping in mind the interests of the students, their safety, and also the fact that their exams are coming up.
I want to take this across now to Ms. Afreen Modi. She's the ex-president of the Students' Council of St. Joseph's College in Bengaluru. Afreen, welcome to this discussion here. You know, we're going to be joined in just a moment by the original petitioners, because this entire showdown began with 6 students wearing their hijabs and demanding that they be allowed to, access to their classes. It's become a national story right now. The court has taken cognizance. It's going to be referred to a larger bench. But those young women still can't attend class at this time. How does that sit with you, Afreen?
Good evening, everybody, first of all. I would only want to say that, firstly, my hijab is my pride. Secondly, when I was elected as the first female Muslim president in a Christian institution in St. Joseph's College, that never stopped me from my education. That has never stopped me from achieving what I want, both professionally as well as personally. And I don't think it ever will. Hijab is a personal choice. There are a lot of people who don't wear it as well, and that's their opinion about how they want to express their faith. And I personally believe that if my constitution is giving me the right to express my religion, to express my faith, I don't think there is anybody else who could take that away from me. And second of all, if it is really about just the uniformity of your uniform, or to maintain the uniformity of the code, that the dressing sense that one has to carry when they go to an educational institute, then I think they must be given some sort of, they could definitely come up with a rule where they are allowed to wear a particular color of hijab in order to maintain uniformity. I don't think they should be asked to remove it.
Most people are still trying to understand, Afreen, how did this issue suddenly erupt at the end of December, early in January? India Today, as you probably know, is the first channel that actually picked up this story from Udupi. Stories from Udupi in general, they get lost in the noise of the national media, but India Today picked up the story. Where did this actually spring from? Because there are pictures of these girls not wearing their hijabs, attending school. How did this suddenly become an issue? Help us understand that. Because this is leading to people wondering whether there is someone on the outside instigating these students for a larger political benefit.
Absolutely, I absolutely agree with you that this is completely political related, because I don't think that the students started wearing the hijab just yesterday or maybe a day before that. They were wearing it earlier as well, and they weren't denied the right to education when they were wearing it earlier or when they got themselves admitted to the institution. So why now is my question as well. Why now, out of nowhere, do you suddenly wake up and turn students against each other? I mean, I think that is what our freedom fighters fought for many, many years ago, that you should not turn your own people against each other. But that is exactly what is happening now. I don't think that a piece of cloth should be this threatening. And above all, well, let's face the honesty, I don't think it is about the piece of cloth at all.
I agree that there needs to be an absolutely acceptable solution to this, and we need to figure out where this came from, how it came about, and we also need to name many of the people who are trying to wash their hands in troubled waters. Would you agree with me, Afreen, when we say that there are many people who are looking at this conflict, this tension on the ground, and saying this is a good opportunity to try and give my opinion and sound righteous? We've got people like Malala Yousafzai, who has spoken out against things like this in the past. There are other people, politicians, who are coming and making pronouncements when they've said exactly the opposite thing before. Do you agree with me when I say that there are many people who are, trying to kind of fish in troubled waters?
No, I absolutely agree with you. But like I mentioned earlier, I don't think it should stop me from my right to education. It shouldn't stop me from right to expression. It shouldn't stop me to express the faith that I truly believe in. I don't know if I could quote this right, but I would be very bluntly, openly, honestly say that here we are being targeted without provocation. And I will repeat myself that yes, we're being targeted without provocation. If a woman feels that nudity empowers her, similarly, modesty empowers me.
Okay.
My hijab has been my pride, and it has been helping me to stand out from the crowd. It helps me to empower myself. So I don't think anybody has the right to take that away from me.
Two small questions, Afreen, and then I know you're busy, so I'll let you go. One is, what would you say to the people who say, that, this is not about choice. When young women in Udupi and elsewhere have been conditioned, no, I'm not saying all are, but what if some of them have been conditioned to wear the hijab and, now they want to wear it? How can you categorically call that choice? How can people simply paint it as black and white and say it's their choice when they've been, conditioned to wear the hijab all through their lives? They didn't have a choice.
Yes, so, I will explain that better.
Okay, I can't hear Afreen. Can we hear Afreen? Okay, we've got an audio problem. I'm going to try and fix that. I'm afraid, Afreen, I'll have to let you go. Thank you very much for being with me on this story. But the important point of who has instigated these students, was it... There are only two possibilities. Either the schools have, the colleges have suddenly decided on these new rules saying hijab not allowed, or the students have decided to make it an issue now and saying, no, we insist on wearing hijabs when they didn't wear it earlier. There is evidence of the students not wearing hijabs earlier. There are accusations about the schools being arbitrary and saying, now you cannot wear a hijab. But that is the central point of where this story's genesis really lies. The BJP has time and again claimed that this hijab protest is a conspiracy. And now the Saffron Party has gunned for the Congress, saying they have given birth to this hijab row in Karnataka. And please remember, ladies and gentlemen, we are about to enter election season here in UP. I'll show you in a moment how what's happening in Karnataka is having an echo in UP. And never forget that the Karnataka Assembly elections also are coming up next year. Take a look. Protests fueled by political fire. The politics over the hijab controversy that India today has set the agenda on has peaked as the BJP and the Congress continue their crossfire. The parties are now fighting it out over who is to blame for the protests. The BJP has now squarely pinned the blame on the Congress, declaring that they gave birth to the hijab row in Karnataka. The BJP has claimed that lawyer Devdutt Kamath, who's representing the Muslim petitioners in the Karnataka High Court, is also the Congress's legal cell representative.
He is in charge of UP elections and he has won. People know who are behind it, when it was escalated. So for 1 month it was a small problem of 6 girls in a single college of Udupi. So when it came to other colleges, how it was taken to the different districts of the state, we know it. But since the matter is in the court, we're going to speak about that.
If the girls have been wearing the scarves on their head and sitting in the classes, why this issue now? Is it because one group in the BJP wants to dislodge the current chief minister? Is it because they have been continuously losing by-elections, corporation election, urban local body elections and MLC elections in Karnataka? Or is it because of the 5 elections that are there in the country? Congress has nothing to do with this issue. It is the ruling party. It is some fringe elements in the campuses who have been avoiding the girls who have been protesting there, or who have been dictating the girls to wear what they don't want to wear.
The lawyer Devdutt Kamath was quick to respond, saying he lives in a free country and can argue any case, adding that nobody can question his choice of belief. The Karnataka Hijab showdown fire has spread across India now, and in election season, it's become the big talking point in Uttar Pradesh.
देखिए, ये जानबूझ करके इस प्रकार के विवाद विशेष तौर से कांग्रेस संस्कृति के पोषक लोगों के द्वारा खड़े किए जाते हैं। अगर कोई कॉलेज अपना कोई यूनिफॉर्म का निर्धारण किया हुआ है और उस यूनिफॉर्म को पहन करके कॉलेज में जाना है, बाकी कॉलेज के बाद आप क्या पहनना है नहीं पहनना ये तो स्वतंत्रता है, लेकिन यह विवाद का विषय नहीं था। लेकिन जानबूझ करके इसको तुष्टीकरण की राजनीति करने वालों ने विवाद को खड़ा किया है।
I feel that it is a grave violation of the constitutional right, a fundamental right of choice, by disallowing the girls to wear the hijab. So why is it that this government has issued the notification? And they talk about equality, integrity, public order. For God's sake, if a student walks into a school, the Constitution is not suspended. The Constitution is alive for everyone. And the Constitution gives them this freedom and the right to exercise that choice.
Amidst a war of words, the Karnataka BJP went one step ahead and claimed that if the Congress comes to power, even Hindus will have to wear hijabs.
ಕಾಂಗ್ರೆಸ್ಸಿಗೆ ಜನಾಭಿಪ್ರಾಯ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಸಿಕ್ಕಿಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಹಿಂದೂಗಳಿಗೂ ಕೂಡ ಹಿಜಾಬ್ ಹಾಕಿಸುವಂಥ ಕಾನೂನನ್ನು ತಂದುಬಿಡ್ಬೋದೇನೋ ಇವರು. ಈ ರೀತಿಯಾದಂಥ ಮಾನಸಿಕತೆಯಿಂದ ಇವತ್ತು ಸಿದ್ದರಾಮಯ್ಯ ಮತ್ತು ಕಾಂಗ್ರೆಸ್ ಹೊರಗೆ ಬರಬೇಕು. ನಿನ್ನೆ ಕಾಲೇಜಿನಲ್ಲಿ ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರಧ್ವಜವನ್ನು ಇಳಿಸಿದ್ರು ಅನ್ನುವಂಥ ಸುಳ್ಳು ಆರೋಪಗಳನ್ನು ಸ್ವತಃ ರಾಜ್ಯದ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷರೇ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತಂದರೆ, ಸುಳ್ಳು ಆರೋಪಗಳನ್ನು ಬಹಿರಂಗವಾಗಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಅದನ್ನು ಮತ್ತೆ ಸಮರ್ಥಿಸಿಕೊಳ್ಳುವಂಥದ್ದು ಸರಿಯಲ್ಲ.
In a highly polarized and vitiated atmosphere, political parties are adding fuel to a raging fire. As the opposition is piling pressure on the BJP, the Saffron Party has hit back with the conspiracy charge. On India Today, our aim is singular. The students must study and the stokers must be exposed. And we will continue to do that with our reporters on the ground on the back of the biggest agenda-setting newsbreak of 2022. With Shija, Nabila, Shivamurthy and Daniel in Udupi, Bureau Report, India Today. And the hijab showdown is shrouding headlines in different parts of the country. It's no longer just the campuses of Udupi, Kundapur and elsewhere in coastal Karnataka. As you can see, there have been protests of solidarity in Hubli in Karnataka, in Chennai, in the national capital where I'm bringing you this broadcast from Mumbai, from Kolkata, from Hyderabad for starters. There are also instances of protests from Bhopal, Lucknow and other cities as well. The hijab face-off fire has in effect spread to all corners of the country at this point of time. And maybe the instigators of this entire protest wanted precisely this to happen. Take a look at some of the reactions that have come in on this big story that India Today reported first.
महिला का अधिकार है, वो बिकिनी पहनना चाहे, वो हिजाब पहनना चाहे, वो घूंघट लगाना चाहे, वह साड़ी पहनना चाहे, वह जीन्स पहनना चाहे. इसमें कोई राजनीति की बात नहीं है और ना होनी चाहिए. किसी का अधिकार नहीं है कि वो एक महिला को कहे कि तुम ये पहनो.
वो लोग देश का लीगल सिस्टम के विरुद्ध बात कर रहा है. वो लोग को मालूम होना चाहिए वह लीडर कौन भारत में होने की इच्छा है. वह लॉ ऑफ द लैंड को परिशील करके एक्ट और रूल्स को पढ़ाने के बाद कुछ रिप्लाई करने का अभ्यास किया तो बढ़िया है.
I feel that it is a grave violation of the constitutional right, a fundamental right of choice, by disallowing the girls to wear the hijab. Because the Supreme Court judgment is very clear in Puttu Swami and various Supreme Court judgments are there. Now, no one can dictate what one can eat, one can wear. The choice is a fundamental right. We have removed 377 also. So why is it that this government has issued a notification and they talk about equality, integrity, public order?
Dress code, discipline, dignity, ये किसी भी इंस्टीट्यूशन का प्रोवोकेटिव है. अनफॉर्चुनेटली कुछ लोग जिस तरह से इन मुद्दों पर भी सियासत कर रहे हैं, वो कतई जो है वो न तो उस समाज का भला कर रहे हैं जिसके नाम पे ये सियासत कर रहे हैं, न अपना भला कर रहे हैं.
मुझे बच्चों के बारे में चिंता है. मुझे लगता है कि ऐसे डिवाइड काइंड ऑफ एंड डिवाइड एंड रूल काइंड ऑफ थिंग नहीं हो.
कहीं ना कहीं मैं उम्मीद करती हूँ ऐसा वीडियो देखने के बाद किसी तरीके की ग्लानि महसूस होगा ऐसी सरकार को जिन्होंने सिर्फ धर्म पे अपनी राजनीति की है और वोट बटोरा है, लोगों का बंटवारा कर करके वोट बटोरा है. और दुर्भाग्य की बात एक और है कि एक पुरुष सैफरन शॉल पहनकर एक महिला, जो हमारा हिंदू धर्म हमें कहता है कि महिला का सम्मान होना चाहिए, आप उनकी बेइज्जती कर रहे हैं. तो आप ना हिंदुत्व के प्रतीक है ना हिंदुइज्म के प्रतीक है.
जब भी हम कॉलेज में आएंगे, स्कूल में आएंगे, हम ये ड्रेस कोड पालन करेंगे. अभी तो ड्रेस कोड पालन करना है. हम जो कानून है, लॉ ऑफ द लैंड जो है, उसको मैं पालन नहीं करूंगा, ये बोलना ठीक नहीं है.
The government in Karnataka is in siege. Everybody knows they are losing this election. And the only way for the BJP to do something better is to communalize the whole issue. When you communalize and politicize an issue, it does not get sorted out because they don't want it to get sorted out.
यूनिफॉर्म का मतलब ही यूनी मतलब एक जैसी फॉर्म. तो यूनिफॉर्म में ये हिजाब और कोई अन्य प्रकार की उन्मादी चीजें लाना और उनको लगाना ये उचित नहीं है, ये गलत है.
Some sorts of moral policing have been conducted on the sisters of our Muslim population, which certainly create a great fissure in our society. That is why we lodge the protest that government should come out and give a statement of what is their opinion on the atrocities being committed upon the Muslim girls in Karnataka and other places in the name of hijab.
अगर आप प्रोटेस्ट करवाओगे, इंजीनियर करोगे तो सब जगह प्रोटेस्ट हो जाएगा. इसको तूल देने की ज़रूरत थी भी नहीं, ना ही तूल देने की कोशिश की गई है. इसको कुछ लोगों ने इंजीनियर किया है ताकि उनको फ़ायदा मिले. मुद्दा ये है कि हिजाब का मुद्दा उठा क्यों है. आज उस समुदाय के अंदर, महिलाओं के अंदर सरकार की नीतियों के लिए आकर्षण, उसको कैसे तोड़ा जाए. आप उल्टी सीधी चीजें करिए.
If some girls wear jeans, they have a problem. If girls wear skirts, they have a problem. If the girls wear headgears, they have a problem. And this has been happening in that part of Karnataka for the past few years. And the fringe elements, those are involved, are identified with a certain political party, and the whole of the entire country knows this.
And take a look now how India Today's Anjana Om Kashyap cornered Asaduddin Owaisi on his own hijab hypocrisy. Take a look at this. Don't miss it.
एक स्टेट ने ये डिसाइड किया, वो ये कह रहे हैं कि हिजाब को हम परमिशन नहीं देंगे. अब उसके बिसात पर अगर उत्तर प्रदेश में ध्रुवीकरण की पॉलिटिक्स हो रही है तो क्या ये सही है? और उस बच्ची के लिए, मुस्कान के लिए क्या कह रहे हैं आप?
अगर कोई लड़की पहले से हिजाब पहन रही है, ये परसों नहीं पहना गया, अचानक आपको क्यों ख्याल आ गया भाई, और आप ये नोटिफिकेशन क्यों जारी करते? आपका नारा है बेटी पढ़ाओ बेटी बचाओ. ये बच्ची पढ़ रही है, कॉलेज में जाकर स्कूल में पढ़ रही है, आप क्यों रोकना चाह रहे हो उनको? रोकने का मकसद क्या है आपका? आप तो पढ़ाइए ना. हाँ, हिजाब पहन रहे, हिजाब और निकाब जो है वो कुरान में आयत में लिखा हुआ है. कुरान की आयत में है, वो तो फर्ज है. हर एक महिला को आप नहीं पहनते अलग बात है, मगर वो तो उसका जिक्र है. और उस लड़की मुस्कान ने जो मजाहरा किया बहादुरी का.
I'll come back to that interview in just a moment, but we have Karnataka's Education Minister B.C. Nagesh back with us live here on 5 Live. Minister Nagesh, thank you for being with me, sir. I want to start by asking you about the very specific allegation you've made that the SDPI, sir, the Campus Front of India, have a hand in instigating these students. Is there some proof of that? That's a very grave charge you're making, sir, because these students say they are protesting of their own volition, of their own accord, for themselves, but you're saying that there is a group behind this.
I have clearly said the way PFI is behaving. Before the court judgment, it has clearly said that we are going to, whatever the result we get here, we will go appeal in the apex court. If it is not a party to it, why PFI goes to the court, apex court, and it will try to fight in the apex court? So we have doubts that the Campus Front of India, which is a student organization of the Popular Front of India, are involved. So we have asked our Home Ministry to investigate into it. They are going to investigate, and it is only the doubt I said. I have not said that they have been involved. We have doubt because they are unnecessary poking notes into many things. So Home Department will go see the things, and it will come back after the investigation. Definitely I will tell you which organization is involved.
Minister, the Karnataka High Court has referred today's issue to a larger bench. No interim relief, yet for the students. You have shut all the colleges and schools until at least the 11th of this month. How are you planning to navigate it, sir? Right now, the students are not going to their campuses. What is your message for these students? Because anger is likely to build the longer this is stretched.
I request the student, education is more important. Discipline in the institution is more important. Any student should follow the rule of the land. According to the Educational Act of 1985 and rule of 1995, clearly says that every registered institution can prescribe their uniform, and whatever any student who want to join that institution has to follow that prescribed uniform. I request the student to follow the rule, and please go to the classes. Don't be adamant about the hijab or any your dharma palan rules. You should attend the classes. Examination date has also been announced. April 16th is the PU examinations. I request the student to attend peacefully until the judgment comes from the High Court.
Sir, we have a student, one of the original students who had protested at the end of December, early in January. Hazra is with me. Hazra Shifa is one of the 6 petitioners and one of the people who had protested originally. She's with me. And what you're looking at, viewer, is the first time on television that one of the petitioner protesters is facing off with the Karnataka Minister of Education. Hazra, the minister is live with us right now. What is your message for the minister? And then the minister will reply to you. Hazra, what would you like to say to the minister?
Okay, sir. Okay. Actually, he's saying we have to focus on education. We have to leave this and we should go to the college. He's saying like that. But, sir, if they are caring about us, they should take inside the classroom, right? Why they are least bothered about our studies? When they are itself least bothered about our studies, why should we care, sir? They should take us inside the classroom. No, we are just asking for a rights, which is written in the constitution itself. We are just asking for that rights. No, so we are not asking to, we are not even doing any crimes or something like that. We are just asking for our rights. We want our rights back, sir. We are just asking to put the headscarf on our head. We are only asking the hijab to put on the headscarf, nothing else, sir. We are following our uniform and we are going to the college. We just want that our constitution values, you should respect that and let them give our rights back, no, sir. And if the college or somebody else is feeling so pity or something on us, like our studies is going back, let them take inside the classroom, no, sir. We didn't say we'll not come inside the classroom. We're just saying we'll put the headscarf and come. Sir, putting headscarf, it don't cover my brain, sir. It only cover my hair. So I'm saying that I'll come inside the classroom and sit inside and focus on studies there itself. Who told with the headscarf I can't understand anything? I can't understand everything, sir.
Minister Nagesh, would you like to respond to Hazra? She's one of the petitioners, sir. You're speaking to her for the first time.
Sorry, when the matter is in the court, it becomes prejudice. But I am not the right authority to tell the legally whether the judgments came from Bombay High Court, Madras High Court, and even in the Apex Court in the other uniform cases. That it clearly says that head covering is not allowed in the uniform, and the uniform means whatever the prescribed by the institution. The institution has prescribed uniform in Udupi. I request the girl, what they were following since the beginning of the college has to be followed by them.
Hazra, you've made your appeal directly to the minister. The minister has said rules are rules and uniform must be followed. The issue is now in court. The court today has referred the issue to a larger bench. What are you hoping will happen? Because right now, no interim relief has been given to you and your friends.
Yeah, sir. I trust my judiciary system, sir. I trust it. I know the judge will keep a constitution value on the top and he will take a decision. I know that he will give us our rights back. Because, sir, we are just asking for one headscarf, sir. Who told we are not following the uniformity, sir? We are following it, sir. We are not saying we'll not wear this, like whatever they are providing us the uniform. We didn't even say that we are not going to wear that. We just saying that the same color of the uniform we are wearing on the head, sir. That's all. We just want to cover our hair. That's all, sir. Let them give our rights, no, sir. Nothing will happen. Or I will not gain more in education or I won't gain less education. I will be also equal. Let them make equality, no, sir. Equality will not come in a dress code, sir. It will come from the heart. They should give us the equality like that, not in this looking at the dress code, sir. Let them give our rights back. We want our rights, though, which is like we want to wear the headscarf.
Dhanyawad. Yes, go ahead, Minister.
Sorry. And I am quoting the Act and rules. All citizens should follow according to the Act and rules. I request once more from your channel that students should follow. Anyhow, they have gone to the court. The ball is in the court. Let the judgment comes. If then everyone has to follow whatever the judgment.
Minister, one final question. You had said that the students are being instigated by others, sir. Can you repeat that? Because Hazra and her friends say they are not being instigated by anyone. What would you like to say? You are saying that the Campus Front of India and the SDPI are trying to play politics here and forcing these students to protest.
Then why did PFI said yesterday that we are going to appeal in the higher court if the court goes against our appeal?
Hazra, would you like to answer that? The minister says it is very suspicious to see Popular Front of India and Campus Front of India jumping in. Go ahead, Hazra.
Yeah, it's nothing like that. All the wrong statements are spreading all over.
Second thing, how can student come to the upper level of High Court? Can any student can come and appeal before the High Court?
Okay, I'll tell you. I'll explain.
Yes.
Okay, I'll explain you, sir. Actually,
Dhanyawad,
all of our student
sir,
parents
just stay with me. Listen to her answer. Listen to
Though
Hazra's answer, sir. Karnataka Minister, please just stay. Listen to Hazra's answer. Go ahead, Hazra.
Sir, listen to my answer, sir.
We'll make him hear your answer. You go ahead, Hazra.
After that, my parents and all convinced principal. Yeah, everybody convinced principal. Though he didn't listen, though he didn't even value his words, my parents' words. So we actually are CFI. They actually are good. The one who actually give us all the students like scholarship. They help us a lot in such kinds of matter. So we thought to approach them, sir. It's nothing like they forced us. We actually asked the help from them after after parents went and convinced principal. Nothing before we didn't go and approach them, sir. After it went to our extreme level, after that we approached to a CFI, sir. They are actually supported us very goodly. So they are with us, sir. Nothing like they forced us, sir.
Okay, you're making it very clear that nobody is instigating you right now, because the minister, the government are saying that the PFI and others are instigating you. So you have clarified that nobody is behind this. Alia is one of your co-petitioners. Hazra, stay with me. She's also joining us live from Udupi at this point of time. Nabila is with her. Nabila, what is Alia saying? The government is saying, let's wait for what the court decides. You have to follow the rules in the interim.
Courts will decide. Until then, you follow the rules. Alia, you've been seen as a rebel, someone who started instigated protests which has snowballed across the state and the country. Do you feel proud of what you've done?
Yeah, I'm proud because at least I did not sit silent and just bear the injustice happening with me. I have raised my voice and inshallah I'll get justice. Yeah.
What kind of justice are you looking at? Alia, have you always worn the hijab?
Yes, I always own my hijab since I was child. From my first standard, I'm wearing my hijab and I've never taken it off and I'll never take it off.
They're saying that you're suppressed and you're being instigated by political parties.
Not at all. No one is forcing me to do this. That is baseless. Telling that someone is forcing me to wear hijab. That is baseless statement, because this is my choice, and this is not the first time I'm wearing hijab. Since I was child, I'm wearing this hijab, and I'm proud to wear hijab.
Here, if the Karnataka government supposed says that you cannot wear the hijab inside classrooms, will you still continue your education, Alia?
Yeah, with hijab, I would like to continue my education with hijab, because right now I'm waiting for judgment, the court order, which is again postponed. It's really sad that it again postponed, because our exams are near, and I hope we'll get justice soon.
Now, if at all there is a uniform rule that inside classrooms the court says you cannot wear a hijab, will you still go to college and without the hijab at that time, or will you drop out?
Right now I'm not thinking about that, because I have all the hopes in my judicial system and constitution and the judge who will give the order. So right now I have all the trust on them, and I hope they'll give justice first.
Right. Well, you know, there's so many allegations that among the six of you are the six girls who started off this petition and, protested for hijab to be worn inside classrooms. Two of them were not wearing the hijab earlier. Now they're insisting that they want to wear the hijab, trying to make this a issue. Is that true?
No, it's not true. Not at all.
All six girls have worn the hijab for how many years?
It's from beginning we are wearing hijabs. Almost everybody. It's no, why this is question coming right now? Because this right, a girl can wear hijab whenever she wants. If she's wearing tomorrow, she can remove tomorrow. That doesn't matter. When she wants to wear, let her wear, right? It's her choice whenever she can wear. Why is this question arising?
Why do you think this question is arising? Who is instigating all of this?
It's just the people are diverting this issue. It was a small student issue, and I don't think the political parties should come and interfere in our issue. It was a student issue, and they're just trying to divert in communal way. In each and every way, they're trying to divert this issue.
Hazra, I want to ask you. Nabila, just hold on for a second.
Bothered or harassed in classrooms earlier?
Nabila, just hold on for a second. I want to ask Hazra, if you can hear me. Specific last question to both of you. Hazra. Who do you think?
Sorry?
Where has this problem started? Who has started this problem? Is it the school? Is it some political group? Is it some opposition group? Who has started this? It has to have started with one group or one person. Who has started this issue? Because you are saying that you have worn hijab to the classes before. It has never been a problem before. So where has this started from?
Sir, I can say it started from both the sides, because first it's a small issue. It could be solved inside the classroom. A principal made it a big issue later. Because of him, it became this much.
What was the issue? What happened? Tell us what was the issue.
MLA gave a statement like, issue was like, yeah, they are not letting us inside the classroom. I don't know what's the problem wearing the headscarf and getting inside the classroom, sir. Actually, when the MLA gave a statement like, if your children are wearing headscarf, tomorrow our people will wear a saffron shirt. There itself, it started a communal, sir. It wouldn't be a communal until the statement comes soon after rest, everybody started wearing saffron shirt. Until that, there was nothing communal like this. Once the MLA gave a statement, after that it became so worst, and it became so communal, sir.
One final question to you, to you both. I'll get both Alia and Hazra to answer this. Alia, to Hazra first. If the court, I don't want to pre-decide what the judges will say. Only the judge and the court can decide what happens. If Hazra, the judges and the court decide that both sides, whether those wearing hijabs or those wearing saffron shawls, you have to comply with the uniform completely. No hijabs, no saffron shawls. What will be your next step then?
So first thing I should say, this hijab is not just come issue, sir. It was from beginning, and now it arises the issue is a saffron shawl, sir. They should not wear it from the beginning. They started now, sir. After we started wearing the headscarf, they are saying if you remove the headscarf, we will remove the head, this one, saffron shell. We didn't meant like if you remove the head, saffron shell, we will remove the headscarf. We never meant like that, sir.
Okay.
Actually, this is a right, sir. If something it's written, something is a right to them to wear a head saffron shell, let them wear, sir. There's nothing issue for us or someone else, sir. I don't know why it's happening. Like I have a fully and I trust judiciary. I think he will give us our rights, keeping a constitution value on the top. He will give us our rights, sir. That's all I want to say.
You know, Hazra, I agree with you on many points, including the fact that nobody needs to give you any certificates on where you stand. You are an Indian citizen. You are a proud student of Karnataka, and you want the right to do what you can do. You know, there are people who are concerned about the futures of young students like yourselves. I just want to, this is not a provocative question, but I want to ask you this. You know, even people in Pakistan have tried to come in and politicize this whole issue. The foreign minister of Pakistan has come in and tried to, you know, give his opinion on this whole matter. How would you respond to people in Pakistan trying to, you know, foment trouble here in India?
Sir, I don't know about other countries, sir. India is a secular country. India is meant to like unity in diversity, sir. India is one of the best country, the best example for the secular and democratic country, sir. How can I even compare to other countries, sir? I am proud to be an Indian, sir. I don't think so. India will come to in other like talks and they'll let listen others talk, sir. I want how India is. India is a good country. It is equal. There everybody live equally, sir. I want same how from before the shawl was not an issue, sir. I don't know why they are bringing a shawl as an issue right now, sir. I don't know whose mindset it become like shawl is something a part of which is not allowed. It's something like that, sir. We never actually. I don't think, sir, this should be this big issue. Just a court should give us as soon as this our rights, like hijab is our right, sir. We want to wear it.
Hazra, Alia, thank you very much for being with me here on India Today. I hope the words that you spoke, which went directly to the Karnataka Education Minister for the first time on television, is something that will make a difference. I don't know what the decision is going to be, but I hope that there can be some kind of coming together. We all have to unite. You're right that this is a country we should all be proud of. Nobody should be allowed to divide us. And certainly nobody should be allowed to divide India's students. They are our future. There are examinations coming up and they should be allowed to live their lives. Thank you, Hazra and Alia. It was a pleasure speaking to the both of you on 5 Live. India Today, the first channel that broke this story, setting the national news agenda. The hijab showdown, now a national story. Media wakes up after India Today news break. All students first on India Today.
They started giving slogans like Jai Shri Ram, and they were telling me to remove burqa, then you are allowed to go for college and all.
Students with hijabs from entering classrooms and colleges.
Our coverage is booming in Parliament.
कर्नाटक में सर देखिए स्कूल 30 से 40 कॉलेज बंद पड़े हुए हैं. हिजाब पहनना कोई गुनाह तो नहीं है.
We've forced all channels to cover this. Our aim, students study, stalkers silenced. Students trust India Today, none other. India Today, the gold standard.